family summer camp together. This camp is staffed by UC Berkeley students. Something else the Alumni Association does is they bring really incredible speakers to campus who might be alumni or who might not be alumni. About a month ago, I saw the current director of the U.S. Institute for Peace here. It was me and about 30 other people in a room with one of the most senior officials in the Obama administration, and he was just answering our questions. So a lot of the speakers who come to campus are very specialized and might appeal to students in one department or another mostly. And so it really allows for a one-on-one opportunity to interact with some of the most brilliant minds in a certain field. If we move around this group, we're going to go up on the steps. So we are standing on the steps of Haas Pavilion, our basketball gymnasium. It seats 12,000 people, and in addition to housing basketball, it also houses our volleyball and gymnastics and wrestling teams. Another thing about being a student is most sporting events are free, but for basketball and football, you do have to pay for tickets. However, students get them for half price, which is also a really great deal. And the great thing about being a student is normally passes to the gym membership is like $200, but for students it's $10 a semester. And that gives you full access not just to the treadmills and weights and all that, but also to every single class they offer there. So I've taken everything from kickboxing to yoga there, and they're always adding new classes. They're always having special deals on. They had Nike come and run a training program for a couple months. It's a really great deal. Across the street from the RSF is the Tang Center. This is our student health center. And so the ASUC, our student government, passed a bill called SHIP, the Student Health Insurance Plan, which guaranteed that as part of the tuition you pay, you are guaranteed full insurance. So if you get mono or if you break your arm, and let's say you live thousands of miles away and you can't really go home and have your doctor treat that, or even something more basic such as prescribe a prescription you might need to get over the flu or something, since you're covered under SHIP, the Tang Center can refill all your prescriptions, they can treat everything, and it's subsidized because it's part of the university. So it's a really great resource to have so that, you know, if you've ever gotten into trouble of any sort with your health, you've got everything you could possibly need right here. You don't have to go through the logistics of calling your doctor back home or whatever. So we're approaching the Valley Life Science Building. This building houses our departments of molecular and cell biology and integrative biology. Molecular and cell biology is one of our 6 most popular majors at Cal. And we're actually going to take a side entrance. Always, you have people to go to movies with. You're basically surrounded by people to hang out with all the time. So in addition to that, a lot of students will join organizations. We have several hundred student organizations on campus. I'm involved in Model UN in addition to being a tour guide, and I also intern for the ASUC. And so in these organizations, I've had the opportunity to meet a lot of people in a much smaller setting. And so I would definitely recommend joining clubs. A lot of the departments will also have clubs or organizations specific to interest. So there's the Undergraduate Poli-Sci Association. There are pre-law and pre-business co-ed fraternities. The Greek system, the social fraternities and sororities are also a great opportunity to make a smaller community, as is simply. So we talked about intramural sport teams earlier. If you don't have a group that you have pre-formed, you can sign up as an individual and that'll put you on a team. But basically, what I would recommend to make it smaller is making sure to interact with the people on your floor, in your dorm, but also just joining clubs. There's so many clubs here that there's something for everyone. There's things I've never heard of, but I'm like, that sounds really interesting. What was it? There was something that I saw earlier today. So I'm really interested in international affairs, and there's this group I just learned of that, like, it brings Chinese youth and American youth to San Francisco to basically talk about Chinese-American relations and what's going on with that. And so I recognize that if you're not interested in international affairs, that probably sounds really awful and boring, but it's something I thought was really cool. And so I would definitely say my problem at Berkeley is not what do I do, but I don't have enough time to join everything I want to join, to do everything I want to do. But each club is a much smaller community within the larger community. You also meet people in your classes and form study groups, and there's definitely ways to do it that way.